Business Mondays. Theme tune. Working on it. So we're going to talk about productivity today. Before I talk about anything, I'm just going to go straight into credibility because someone could have found this on random YouTube search and they're kind of like, who the fuck is this guy? So I've been in business about 3.5 years. I'm kind of like primarily a copywriter. That's kind of like my main skill. But as I've gotten good at copywriting, it's more of an entrepreneur thing, and copywriting is kind of like one of my tools. So I run a profitable video sales letter for information marketing in the dating and relationship space. And I run a 4-person team, 5 including myself. And we did get email traffic and working on cold traffic at the moment. It's starting to be profitable. Okay, so how we're going to do this is I'm going to run you through how I do my day from the moment I get up to the moment I go to bed to be fairly profitable. Not as productive as possible, but fairly productive, okay? The alternative to this would have been like, here are some principles to become productive. 1, try a weekly planner, okay? I'm not going to tell you any like lame principle stuff that you find in a book. I'm going to tell you what actually works for me to get work done in a practical way that you can adhere to and be consistent to. Some of the tools will be useful, some not. Listen through, let's go into it. So, I just want to give you a warning, I'm not going to deal with motivation in here. That'll be a separate thing, okay? If you need motivation, I'll have another video coming out for that one day. Okay, so let's start with waking up and getting out of bed, right? They seem trivial, but it's not trivial. I used to take an hour and a half to get out of bed. Ridiculous, right? So I personally wake up at 8:45 a.m. with the intention of starting work around 9 a.m. to 10 past 9 a.m. Why do I choose this time? Why not 6 a.m.? You know, you got to start the day at 6 a.m. because how do you adhere to that? How do you keep that up? One night you want to stay up past midnight and have some fun, Friday or Saturday, you're ruined. You're completely ruined. And it feels shit waking up at 6 a.m. All right, so I don't recommend waking up at 6 a.m. I recommend a proper easy, breezy, entrepreneurial 9 a.m. no stress, easy to adhere to wake up time. All right, so 8:45 alarm. Okay, so my alarm is set. Bang, 8:45 it goes off. It's outside the bed, so I have to get out of the bed and kind of get it. Okay. Do I hit the snooze? No. Dismiss, and then I go like this. Open the eyes, right? Keep them open. Don't fall back asleep, right? Don't train don't go like this. Don't relax. Get yourself awake, okay? So like that for a little while, and then at 9 a.m., boom, okay? Just boom, up. Now, what's going to help you get up more than anything? Something happened at 9 a.m. that you have to tend to. For example, my housekeeper comes at exactly 9 a.m. I need to get out of bed at 9 a.m., right? But that's not all. It's not just that. I also have meeting scheduled for 9 a.m. with my focus assistant, right? As I'll explain more. So you need to have leverage on yourself because getting out of bed is no joke, right? It's no fucking joke. It's not some easy thing where you're just okay, from now on I'm going to get up and not stay in bed at all, right? So I create things that force me to get up out of bed because I don't believe in willpower, okay? So now we're out of bed, right? I don't go and have breakfast straight away. The very first thing I want to do is work, just get my mind on that for the day. You know, I think it's attributed to Oprah. You know, Oprah, eat a healthy breakfast, that'll frame how you eat for the rest of the day. Start the day with work, that'll frame how you work for the rest of the day, okay? So the very first thing I do is half an hour of work. Now, that very first half hour, it's not super productive, okay? It's kind of like I'm still a bit groggy. You know, I've had a glass of water, so I'm not completely just but I'm still a bit groggy, I'm confused, I'm checking on some stats and stuff and seeing who from my team has messaged me and kind of starting to get into the swing of things, but I don't have any pressure on myself. For that first half hour, no big deal, okay? I try to be as good as I can, but no worries, right? No worries. So you do half an hour of that, and then breakfast. Okay, what do I eat for breakfast? I eat 2 to 3 eggs, oats with skim milk and a bit of honey, and I eat a bowl of fruit. I also have a coffee. If you're not drinking coffee and you don't think coffee is the total devil, have a coffee for breakfast. If you think coffee's the devil, question it, okay? Coffee is great, it makes you work better. It's not gonna kill you. It might stain your teeth. It will stain your teeth, but coffee ain't that bad, all right? Coffee's very helpful. I take a coffee. When the time I get back to work, after having breakfast and a coffee in about 20 minutes to 25 minutes, sometimes up to half an hour, it might take that long. I'm feeling very good, and I'm in a very productive state. I've already woken up my mind a little bit with that first half hour, and I've had some fuel and a coffee, and I'm in a very good state to be working, right? I think if you follow that same kind of procedure, it'll probably work for you. Not necessarily, but give it a go. Okay. Now, as I said, breakfast, you want it to be fast. Ideally, if you have enough money, if you don't have enough money, you can't do this, but if you have enough money, get a housekeeper. Get a housekeeper to cook your breakfast for you. They say to you, hey, breakfast is ready. You walk out, it's on the table, okay? When I was living in New York just before, like New York's like a bit expensive, and like I was only there for a month. I didn't have time to like organize a housekeeper just for a month. I don't even know if I would want to afford one, and it'd be kind of intense. But it's just stressful, like make the food, you stress yourself out, okay? You want to do your best to be productive. You have to be productive, you have to get rid of stress. You have to get rid of worry. You have to have a clear mind, right? So if you can, get someone to make your breakfast for you. Even if you have a family member who you can just pay a little bit to just cook your breakfast for you, right? That's going to save you like a lot of stress and let you get into a workflow faster. Okay, so now you're actually working, right? From this moment when you start working after breakfast to when you finish, you want it to be about 3 hours, a good solid 3-hour chunk, all right? You could look at that as like 3 chunks of 50 minutes, right? Now, what are you gonna, now that we're actually working, right, we're in the work mode, I'm gonna plunge into like principles of productivity, not lame principles of productivity, but principles that I adhere to, okay? I don't plan my day, okay? If I put a plan together, it usually goes to shit, and I'm a person who's good at planning. I'm not in the Myers-Briggs or whatever it is, I'm the planner person, the judger. I'm not the perceiver. And yet if I do a plan, it doesn't work out. Things come up, blah. So I don't personally do a plan. What I what I do have for like keeping track of tasks and that is one active Google document, right? So it's, I do most of my work in my browser, like Google Chrome. Most of my work happens in Google Chrome. The very top left tab says to do, right? The second tab says Gmail, the third tab says Google Drive, but the first tab says to do. And it's just an active thing of dot points that I delete and add onto, and I just like slap it on. It doesn't go to the bottom, doesn't go to the top, just boom, straight there, so I can just glance over and go, what can I do right now? Like kind of thing, like, well, what's important now? That's what kind of works for me, It's easy to adhere to. It's not optimum like these getting things done book, that there's a book called Getting Things Done. It's all these like strategies and stuff. They would never write, hey, have an active Google sheet and dump stuff in it and look at it and see what you want to do. But that you can actually adhere to. It's a success strategy. The other ones have room for failure. This doesn't. It's just a evolving sheet of what you have to do, and that's all I keep, and it works. Okay. So, what work do you actually do? What work do you do? Well, you do the most high leverage activity. Okay. So for me, the highest leverage activity is reviewing what my team has done and giving my team further instructions. Making decisions about cold traffic, so reviewing how the cold traffic is going, not going and getting the data and importing it into a spreadsheet and doing math or anything like that. I have an assistant who does that. I review like what's, like the high level overview of the cold traffic and then make decisions based on that. Maybe talk to my web developer as well and say, okay, what are we going to do here? Right? So that gets, like, the cold traffic is the highest leverage outcome that I want to get done. So I just focus on cold traffic in these 3 hours mostly, right? And I also create processes and systems. So I want to create things that make it easier for me to get things done. I want to create processes and systems that make it easier for my team to get things done. So I want to create things like trainings, step-by-step processes for people to follow, and things that just like remove friction and make everything just flow more systematically in the business, okay? So for me, those are the highest leverage activities. You could be running any business. I don't know what you're running. So you need to think about what are the actual highest leverage activities that are going to actually get me to the goal that I'm working at within, that's, got about a 2-month or 3-month timeline, okay? And it's probably just like 2 or 3 activities, and you just hammer them in the first 3 hours, okay? Other stuff we'll get to later, but for that first 2 or 3 hours in the day, high leverage, high leverage, high leverage, and nothing else, okay? So let me see what else. In this first 3 hours, no meetings with anyone, okay? You don't have meetings, you don't schedule meetings with anyone else. Now, not everyone in the world can adhere to this, because some people have to be the people that do have the 9 a.m. to 12:30 or 1 meetings, okay, that you're making them with, but you don't accept meetings in that time. You're available for meetings in the afternoon and the evening, because that first part of the day is for you and what you're working on, okay? You don't open Facebook, you don't open any social media at all, none. You sit at your computer and you don't move unless you're gonna take a break, which is the next thing. I recommend 5 to 10 minute breaks. Take a 5 to 10 minute break when you need it, okay? Just work and work and work and work, and if you're kind of like, ugh, go get some water, lie down in your bed. I recommend not lying down and checking social media. However, admittedly, I sometimes do, okay? But just relax, okay? Go talk to someone, clear your mind, okay? Don't walk around just like thinking business, right? Actually get out of it. That's what your aim is. That's even sometimes why I look at social media in my breaks and news and stuff like that, just to whoosh, get business out of my mind so I can just come back, okay? Avoid email in the first 3 hours. Let me just see if I miss anything. Okay, we have to talk about this. Activity versus productivity, right? Activity, I was very productive today. I did 10 hours work. Did you get anything done? Did you get closer to a goal, like measurably closer in a way that you can tangibly say, I ticked that off and that was part of what I had to do, and now there's only this remaining, okay? If you just spend 10 hours like responding to emails or like talking to people or like thinking or planning or stuff, did you actually get anything done? Not necessarily. Most of our days are a combination of activity and productivity. You want to decrease the time spent in pure activity and move closer to pure productivity. Probably sometimes you'll be doing stuff that isn't high leverage. Hey, life goes on. You're not perfect, no worries. Okay? So, just to tell you which tools I do use for communication with my team during all the time, I use a program called Slack and I use Skype, and that's it. I don't really communicate with people on Facebook or WhatsApp or anything like that, okay? Now, let me reveal something to you. In my first 3 hours of the day, I use what I call a focus assistant, okay? I don't believe in willpower. I don't know if I have sucky willpower, but I don't think I do. I think I have good willpower, but I believe willpower sucks. Whether you have good willpower or bad willpower, willpower in general sucks, okay? It's not to be relied upon. So I have a girl from Eastern Europe who's lovely and charming, and 9 a.m. she's waiting for me to be on a call with her, and she'll just be there while I work. I'll be like, blah, 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 oh yeah, blah, blah, haha, blah, 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 working. I pay her, she does pretty much nothing, just sit there, do her own thing, do her own work. I pay her, and it's good for me because it forces me to be on that call at 9 and work the whole time, lest I look like a freaking idiot, right? What, am I gonna slack off and just, like, this person's been like, are you working? Like, nah, right? So you're getting leverage on yourself. Focus assistant. If you can't afford it yet, aim to include it in your future because it's very, very effective for productivity. I believe really it's the #1 productivity tool I know about, okay? If you can't afford it yet, what could you do that's like it? Okay, so there's some pretty good ideas of how I get work done in that time. I'd love to be more specific with you, but I need to know your business, and it's not possible. So I can only tell you what I'm doing and what works for me, okay? Okay, so then that 3 hours is done, right? You've done some very high leverage work. You should be happy with the day. If the day ended right now, you'd be like, yeah, well, I did heaps, okay? You've got more done than most people do in a whole day, okay? If you really went at it for the first 3 hours, you're in a good position already. So the rest of the day is kind of like you do your best and see what happens, all right? So here's how I run it. As soon as that's over, unplug, whoosh, shake it out because I'm like coming out of the flow. Okay, lunchtime. Go and eat lunch. Eat a nutritious lunch. Don't go out for any fast food or anything like that. Eat a nutritious lunch, okay? Now, after lunch, you probably want to rest, okay? You know, rest and digest. After lunch and after work, I always find that I need to just be like, a bit, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Don't be fooled by these posers on the internet that are like, I work a 16-hour day. Fucking posers. Posers. Don't believe anyone who says that. Okay? Just fuck that. Okay, so take a rest. Right? Take a rest because stress will fuck you up. Stress will make you. And remember, adherence is the key. We have to have a strategy that we can adhere to. And if you're getting stressed or stuff, you're eventually going to be like, I don't want to work today. Right? So do take rests when you need one. Okay, so after I've had a rest, I'm either going to go to the gym if it's a gym day, or I'm going to like make a YouTube video if it's like a non-gym day, okay? And if it was a gym day, but I still need to make a YouTube video, I'll do it in the night. So, afternoon, I feel is the best time to go to the gym. You need to go to the gym, right? You need to go to the gym. Guy or girl, you need to go to the gym. I'm not gonna sell you on why you need to go to the gym. If you're not going to the gym, go to the gym. You need to go to the gym. You know you do, okay? I don't need to tell you why, you know you do. In my opinion, afternoon is the best. If you want to go at night, if you want to go in the morning, go whenever you want to go. Okay. Now that you've like done like gym or whatever like that, or you've had a rest, now you're kind of like on easy mode. All right. So it's not super duper important that you are like high leverage activity, incredible productivity, right? So what I do is I go to my computer and I'm just kind of taking it easy. I don't blame myself if I look at social media. I don't blame myself if I do anything at all wrong, okay? Remember, adherence is key, okay? And look, I'll say something here. If you are the only person on your team, maybe what I'm telling you right now isn't accurate. Because for me, what's most important is that I get out instructions to my team and like interact with the people who provide me services, right? Because then they get a whole lot of stuff done, all right? So productivity as the business owner becomes less important. Productivity is more important to someone who's working just on their own and getting their own things done, okay? So maybe if I'm saying, hey, take it easy, maybe that's not the right thing to do. Maybe you should go balls to the wall the whole time, because I certainly have done that. 2.5, 3 years ago, I was just work all day, like take a break, go have a cup of tea, come back, and that's it, right? So if you're in that stage of your life, that might be the strategy for you. Just work. If you're a little later on, or you feel that could be a good strategy, whatever, use this next strategy, right? So now you're kind of like just using willpower. You do as much as you can, okay? So I have some things scheduled after this, like I have meetings scheduled. That's where I have, in the second half of the day, that's where I have meetings scheduled. Like I don't need to will myself into doing it or anything like that. It's just set. The meetings are stacked together. So they're kind of like, not taking up, like, just say you have a meeting from 2 to 3 and then a half-hour break and a meeting from 3:30 to 4:30. What do you think you're going to get done? Not much, right? So I stack meetings together and I just kind of like gradually get work done. I can't say anything more complex about it because that's all there is to it. I just do as much work as I can in amongst the other things. If I have to go run an errand, hey, I run an errand. I got the high leverage stuff done. I come back, hey, oh, work? Yeah, I do more work, all right? Okay, so let's talk about, finishing off the day. Bed, right? If you want to wake up at 8:45 a.m., be in your bed at like 12, okay? You want to get like 8.5 hours sleep, okay? Take a melatonin if you want. Just take 1 gram, take 1.5 grams if you need it. If you feel like when I go to bed, I'm not going to fall asleep straight away due to whatever, take a melatonin half an hour before you need it, all right? 1 gram to 3 grams, I would recommend. Then set your alarm, put your phone on airplane mode, put it on the ground, don't touch it, get in bed, turn the light off, of course you brush your teeth and everything like that, and go to sleep. Don't lie in bed and like look at your phone. If you wake up in the middle of the night, just patiently wait until you get back to sleep. Usually you gotta pee, get up to pee, come back. Don't look at your phone in the middle of the night, okay? Well, I think that's great. That's pretty much what I wanted to say about productivity. I thought it would go for longer, but it didn't. Productivity is not that complex, okay? Productivity is about knowing what you need to do, right? Like you know what the things are that need to be done to get you to a goal. You're like, okay, once all those things are done, then that's gonna literally cause money to happen. And then you go about getting them done. You see which things do I need to do in my like high focus time in the morning, and you just knock them off the list. You just knock them off and you just do it, okay? You avoid spending time on things like emails and talking to people and stuff that's just activity in that first 3 hours, and you're fine, okay? You get the high leverage stuff done, you avoid the crap, you're going to be productive, okay? And all that kind of like activity stuff and like, oh, it's got to be done, but it's not that important, but it needs to be done. It's urgent, but what is that? It's Quadrant and Stephen Covey's thing. Like it's urgent, but it's not that important. That's all the stuff you do, in the second half of the day. Okay, so that's it. Good luck being productive. Now, one other thing, please leave a comment and tell me what you want to learn about, okay? Because I'm happy to make these videos and teach you like what I do. I probably know the answer to the question you have if it's not too specific, okay? So just leave a comment, tell me what you want to learn about, and I'll teach you. And hey, why not subscribe as well?